welcome back to my channel. I'm Monica. So today's video is going to be a chit chat get ready with me. I have never done a true chit chat get ready with me before. I've done a couple of Q&A videos and then videos where I just chit chatted anyway, even though they weren't labeled as chit chat get ready with me's. It's a weird sentence. So yeah, that's what today's video is going to be. I already have my moisturizer and SPF on. I used the CeraVe face lotion. It's just a really good no-nonsense product. There's no fragrance or anything. And then I use the Elta MD for my sunscreen. It's the one specifically for acne prone and sensitive skin. It's the only sunscreen I found that does not break me out. I am planning on trying a bunch of other ones. Yay me for my skin. But I am planning on trying a bunch of other sunscreens to do for a video for sunscreen, like if you have acne prone or sensitive skin. So look out for that in the future. I'm basically just gonna talk about life, whatever, while I get ready. I'm not really gonna talk about what products I'm using. It's gonna be like a relatively simple makeup look. There's not a whole lot of thought going into this. It's more of just like I wanted to get on camera and talk about my life and kind of what's been going on and just get ready while I was at it. I have a really nice giant zit right there. I had one next to it, which is what this red mark is, and then there's another one coming up. Super excited about it. So if you are interested, and then just go ahead and keep watching. So I have my hair pulled back and I'm ready to go. So I'm just gonna start on the eyes and then think of random things to talk about, I guess. You know what, maybe I should do my eyeliner before I start talking because that's just not a good combination. So now that I have my eyeliner on, I think I can talk. I think I can do mascara while I talk. So I'm just gonna go and do my thing while I talk. Let's just go ahead and get to the good stuff. I have been dealing with some anxiety for like 2 weeks now. And like, I don't really talk about it on camera, but I really do actually deal with a decent amount of anxiety. And I guess it's because like during my life I've had a lot of situations and people that have like caused me to be anxious and made me feel like I wasn't like good enough. So I'm always like judging myself, and then I get anxious for things that it's not really worth it. And so it's been interesting because, you know, Thomas has to get used to me and my anxiety because he doesn't really have it. Like, he gets anxious when a situation calls for it, but like with me, I cause anxiety where it doesn't need to be. And I guess he does sometimes, but not quite to the extent that I do. And so he's trying, you know, like he's being really good and really sweet, and he's trying to help me get through it. It is something that's reoccurring, so like it's not just something that just like goes away, at least for me. And you know, I think that he's having to adjust to my anxiety issues because I'll get upset about something or anxious about something that doesn't really make sense to him in his brain, and he's like, I don't really understand why you're getting all riled up, and I'm like, you just wouldn't understand, you don't deal with it. But he's been very good about trying to understand it, like even though it's not something he suffers from or deals with himself. And I've been trying to be better about letting him know when I am like having issues with anxiety, and the quarantine has definitely accentuated it. And I mentioned this kind of in my gray area eating disorders video where I talked about obesophobia. By the way, thank you for the views, guys. I got like over 200 views and I really appreciate that. You know, that one was a hard video for me to film anyway because I know that a lot of people don't want people like me who, I'm not a doctor, obviously, so I can't be like, yeah, I know everything about eating disorders and the gray area of that, or a phobia that is related to that. So I had like one comment where the girl didn't like how I worded it or something. And I mean, I wasn't offended or anything. I was kind of expecting that and appreciate your feedback if you're watching this. But, you know, it was a really hard video to put up because I felt like, you know, people were gonna come for me. I did expect that, at least a little bit, because it is one of those controversial topics. And I even like started the video like I was worried about putting this video up. I went back and forth if I really should, but I did want to talk about it because it is something I've dealt with, and I wanted to, you know, be helpful if possible to those of you who maybe watched and it did help. So that's why I put it up. So yeah, I mean, that was a really hard video for me to do. You know, I said that. I feel like I'm like being redundant, but I mean, it was because, I mean, it's not really something I even wanted to admit to Thomas or my friends, and I did, and then I was like, you know, like, being on the platform that I'm on, I'm not like a big YouTuber by any means, but I figured that for the very small amount of people who do watch me, maybe this was helpful to you. You know, maybe you were like, yeah, that's something I deal with. And I feel like as a woman, it's important for me to say that because, you know, a lot of, and this is a good thing, but a lot of women are out there like body positivity, and I'm all about that. But sometimes it's important for others to understand that before body positivity sometimes comes, hey, I don't like what I see in the mirror, and, you know, it may be ridiculous to some people and it may sound silly, but it's true, or, you know, I'm afraid of gaining any weight because of a certain thing going on in my life, or just because of the demons in my head telling me that, oh, well, she looks prettier than you, she's thinner than you, she's more fit than you are, you know, she works out more than you. I did feel like it was important to put out there because I wanted other people who needed to hear it, I wanted to contribute to that, even if it meant that maybe I was gonna get a little bit of backlash. You know, that's why I did put that video up, because I wanted to be helpful to those of you who maybe also deal with it. But yeah, my anxiety has been heightened, especially last week. Like last week, I just would like randomly get like rushes of feeling anxious or useless or worthless. Like I didn't, you know, and it's been hard for me during this quarantine. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I've had the worst journey. Like obviously that is not the case, but like, you know, my wedding got canceled and then it delayed me being able to transfer up to UAH from UAB. And I was having a hold on that because I was having one of my transcripts got stuck. And for those of you who don't know, and I don't think I really said anything, I went to a community college before I went to UAB, and apparently UAH needs both Jeff State, which is the community college I went to, and UAB's transcript. I don't know why, but it's like a thing. So I couldn't get a hold of Jeff State, and I finally figured out how to get it sent because it was holding me back from being, you know, from being able to transfer and from, you know, being able to enroll in classes, because it's not being in school, because I really, really want to get my degree. It's very important to me personally, and it's not anything against, like, you know, it's not like, oh, well, if you don't get your degree, you're stupid. Like, that's not how I feel about other people who you know, you really need to in order to be successful. I don't think so. I think it really depends on the person you are, but being who I am, it's something that's important to me. And so not being able to go and not being enrolled in classes has been kind of taking a toll on my self-esteem and my self-worth, because I've kind of felt like, oh, well, I'm not doing anything with my life, and like most of my friends have graduated by now, or they're almost graduated, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is taking me forever. So I just am like really eager to get back into school, and also to just get a job, because I'm one of those people, I feel like I need to be doing something besides like YouTube videos, at least, because I feel like I need to do something in order to feel like I'm worth something. I don't know if that sounds silly, if that's relatable, but you know, it is something that for me makes me feel like, you know, I'm accomplishing something, and makes me feel like, hey, I'm getting somewhere in my life, I'm doing something that I really like. And what I want to do with my life, of course, requires a degree. So I need to go to school, and I need to be able to get into school to do that. And it's just been kind of like messing with my self-esteem. Not in school, I don't have a job, and I've had like several interviews with like, no, you know, it's really annoying the way that the work world works now, is that they'll be like, oh, we're gonna schedule a second interview. They don't, or they do, and they say they're gonna call you back, but they blow you off, and then you never hear from them again. And that's happened to everybody pretty much that I know. So it's really frustrating to me. It's not that I'm getting offended, it's just I'm like, okay, but I really, really, really need to feel like I'm doing something, with my life. But it did help. I got all my transcripts sent to UAH last week. I finally figured out the whole deal with Jeff State and was able to get that sent. But I still am like dealing with a little bit of anxiety. Like sometimes I just go, and like for some reason I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm so worthless. I don't have a purpose, whatever. And poor Thomas has to hear all of this. And he's like, you do have a purpose. And the one thing that we'll get into this. One of the things that's hard with him being older is that he's been in the work world since he was about 22, 23, which is how old I am now. And so he's had like 3 or 4 jobs, I think, since he's been graduated from University of Alabama. But for me, I'm still like really wanting my degree, and I see him going to work every day and bringing in like financial stability and earning money. And for me, I'm like, I want to earn something. I want to earn some sort of money to contribute to our lives and our well-being. It almost would make me feel like I'm doing something for us. Where like, yeah, I do clean, I take care of the house, but I'm not actually bringing in any money. So sometimes I feel kind of guilty even just spending money, even though we consider it our money right now and we're basically married. Or I'm getting on a tangent. But yeah, I mean, he has to listen to it, and he's been helping me with my anxiety, but it has flared up, and I don't really know why it randomly flared up. Like, it definitely got worse when the quarantine started. Things have like kind of opened up. We've been out a little bit, and last week, middle of the week before, I don't know, I just got like really like down on myself, and we all do that. So I don't know, it's kind of annoying. If you ask me, like, I hate that I do that to myself. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that's been going on. I am going into this Alter Ego Goddess palette. I haven't really said anything. I used it in an IGTV, but I really like it. It's supposed to be a dupe, I think, for a Natasha Denona palette, and I got another one. It's in a red package, but I love both of them. The quality of these shadows is amazing. The packaging is top-notch, and they're $16. And I really like the way the shipping works because they send it to you in, like, a protected package. Like, it says that your protected package has showed up. So yeah, I did want to give a quick shout out to the Alter Ego line. I am going to definitely try some more from them. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to do anything super interesting with my eyes today. Do I ever do anything interesting with my eyes? Probably not. But yeah, so it's just been rough. Like, I've been hard on myself, and Thomas and I, we talk a lot, which is good. Communication is key. I know that sounds so cliche, but it is key. It's very important to open up to your significant other about what's going on, because you're in a relationship with these people. It's not, you're not trying to really earn their approval, so it's not really about making yourself look good to them anymore. Like, it's important to your relationship, to your well-being and to their well-being, to be totally honest with them. Even if it's something like, I don't know why, but I'm like really hard on myself. I don't like what I see when I look in the mirror. And, I've had a lot of issues in my life that have made me think this way. I've had people tell me that I'm not good enough, like actually verbally say it, and worthless and all that stuff. And, you may not think that affects somebody's image of themselves, but it really does. And now when I look in the mirror, like, instead of looking like, at least I have pretty eyes or something, I think, oh, I wish I could change this about myself. I wish I didn't have cellulite. Just think of all the negative things I can about myself, even if they are not that big of a deal. These shadows are super nice. But yeah, and another thing that actually, I know this sounds so silly, just hear me out. Another thing that has been contributing to my outlook on myself and how I view myself is that I've been on YouTube for almost a year, and I only have like 302 subscribers, and I am thankful for every one of them. But I guess for me, it's really like a constant question of, why am I not getting as many views? I work really hard on my content. I go out and I think constantly about what I'm gonna put up there, and like then people who have less impressive content, at least in my opinion, and I don't know, that may make me sound really mean. I don't mean it like that, but I feel like I work really hard on my stuff and I don't get the amount of views that I think I deserve. And I try to promote it, and I've considered even paying like YouTube to promote and to make my video an ad so people will see it. it's just so expensive, and you know, it's hard to want to spend money on that kind of stuff when Thomas and I are really just trying to start a life together. And I mean, I know that sounds silly, but seriously. And so it's been hard for me to get myself out there, and it's been hard for me to accept the fact that I'm not as big as some people who started around the same time as me, especially with the amount of effort I put in. And last week I only uploaded one video, but that was because seriously I had a lack of motivation. I just wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't feeling like myself, and I was feeling kind of like lethargic and weird. And I didn't really want to upload 2 videos like I normally do just for the sake of uploading 2 videos. Like, I want to give you guys quality content, and I just was afraid that if I just uploaded one, you could kind of maybe tell that something's wrong. And I'm a little afraid that the one I recorded yesterday, which is a full face of Yes Style makeup, and I don't know if this one is going to go up before that one or vice versa, but I was a little like down in it, and I was trying to be perky, and then makeup wasn't going exactly like I planned. So I was like kind of frustrated, and it was like, I don't know, I've just been feeling kind of down and lethargic, kind of antisocial, and I've been a little quiet on social media. Normally I try to upload like 2 times a week and then post on Instagram like 3 or 4 times a week. I really need to up my game on that, actually. And it's just been hard for me because, like, for me, like, yeah, I want to be perky and happy, but I don't want to give like a false sense of like I'm doing great, when actually it's kind of like I'm doing okay. Like, I'm getting through. I just went on a ramble and I don't even remember what my point was, but it's just been like my anxiety's definitely been higher than normal, and it comes from all different places. So yeah, I mentioned this in a vlog. It's the L'Oreal Brilliant Eyes liquid eyeshadow. It's my favorite liquid eyeshadow out there. It's got like a whipped consistency, and they have a great range of colors. I got this on Amazon. I get a lot of things from Amazon. I know that sounds so stereotypical, but it's true. Okay, I cannot do this while talking, so I'll be right back. Couldn't do the glitter talking because it was moving my hand. Yeah, I do like the L'Oreal Brilliant Eyes liquid eyeshadow a lot. It's definitely my favorite. Just really pretty, see? What am I gonna talk about next? I guess we can talk about the things that Thomas and I had to overcome with our age difference. Really, being honest, our age difference wasn't really a problem. Like, there were definitely things that we both had to get used to. Like, for example, he, like I said, had been in the business world, the work world for a while when we met, because he was 26 and I was 21. And so we had a couple of things we had to work through. We had to kind of accommodate, because I was still living with my parents and he wasn't used to that. So he had to kind of get used to the fact that I still lived with my parents when we met, and not like, you know, on my own. By the way, on a side note, I mixed 2 different shades of the Fresh Wear foundation. I mixed 420, which is my winter shade, and then 455, which is my summer shade. They're quite different. But my arms are like at a weird tannish area, so hopefully this will work. I definitely will have to drag it on my neck because my neck never gets any sun except for the back. But I always drag, by the way, I always drag my face lotion and my SPF down my neck, you know, just trying to prevent that aging, I guess. So we're gonna see if I can kind of make this shade work. It might be a little off, but it's just the thing when you're like in between shades that you have to deal with. Anyway, so yeah, he had to kind of get used to that, and then we were getting used to each other's differences. So like, he had been in the single world, if you want to call that, for a while. That might work. Like, he dated somebody briefly before me, but his like real girlfriend before that girl that he dated before me, like, was 5 years before that relationship, and he just kind of dated around. And like, I've never been the dated around person. I'm always like a relationship person. I mentioned that I'm this serial monogamous person. Maybe this will work. It's not that he's not, he just like wasn't in a serious relationship for a while until me. So he had to get back into the groove of what it's like to be in a serious relationship with someone, and not just like, hey, you wanna hang? I guess. And I was trying to get used to the fact that he didn't get as jealous as boys my age do. It's coming across a lot darker on camera than it is in person. It's okay. It's not that serious. I don't have anywhere to be. But yeah, and I was like, so like if I said, oh, a guy hit on me, or somehow that came up, it's not like I go around like, a guy hit on me, but like, you know, it comes up sometimes. Or like if a guy checked me out, he doesn't openly get jealous. Like he was like, it's not really, you know, because I'm not going to go and do anything about it. It's not like I'm going to go like get with the other guy or date the other guy. I have a sunburned scalp. Please ignore that. So I was used to like boys, because they were basically boys, getting like super upset with me about talking to other guys, like even if it was just like a conversation. I'm the most loyal person ever. Like you could probably screw me over and I'll still come back. Don't be that loyal. Be loyal, but not to your own detriment, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, he was kind of just like chill about it. Like it was like, whatever, like I know you're pretty. Thanks, by the way, babe. Thanks, Thomas, for thinking I'm pretty. He was like, I know you're pretty, so guys are gonna look, but I know you're not gonna do anything, so I'm not gonna get riled up about it. There are times like when he's like been like, that guy's been looking at you for too long, but it's not like we're gonna actually have a fight about it or anything like that. By the way, I have like this crazy sunburn right here, and it like hurts so bad. Thomas is pretty good about not getting super jealous. People check him out too, girls do and gay guys do. It's really funny. And like, I don't really get that jealous. Like sometimes just to like mess with Thomas, I'll like casually say like, this guy's taken or whatever, or I'll like hold on to him, but it's not like I'm actually like yelling at or talking to the person. I'm not like, no, he's taken, stop looking. Because I just like, he knows that I'm pretty, or he says it, I don't want to sound conceited, but I know that he's attractive, he's handsome, and that people will look, and so like I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know that I have good taste. I know I do. You just keep looking, but you can't touch it. Also, he's been like helping me with financial stuff. Like he helps me, and like if I need help on the business side of things, because he has been in the business world and like that kind of stuff, he helps me. He is really patient with me and good with me. It makes him sound like he's a good babysitter. He's very like understanding. He's never like judgmental, which is nice. So he teaches me a lot of things. I'm teaching him how to drive a stick shift because he doesn't know, and my car's a stick shift. I've always driven a stick shift. I love them. I just like, I don't know. My parents taught me, so I'd always know how to drive a stick shift. I just kept driving one. Like I totaled my first car going 7 miles an hour, which is just such an interesting story. But then the second one I got, I was like, I want a stick shift for sure, because I like the feeling of them. I like driving them. I think they're fun. So yeah, this is like seriously so chit-chatting now. We're excited because church is opening back up and we can go. I mean, it is social distancing style, of course, but we are able to go now, and we're pretty happy about that because we have missed going to church. And we found one that we really, really liked. It has this long membership program. So we were gonna start on it, and I was like, well, we'll wait until after the wedding in March, and that didn't happen. And so we were like, well, we might as well get started, and then the church closed because of all of the coronavirus stuff. So yeah, we're hoping to go this weekend. Hopefully, you know, it won't be too crowded, so we won't be breaking any guidelines or anything like that, but we really missed it. We really hated not being able to go to church for Easter. So yeah, we're really hoping that we can go without any problems. Kind of matches. That's what it is. Much trial and error when trying to find it. I feel like I did an okay job covering my poor sunburned scalp. I hope that doesn't peel. Peeling skin is one of those things that grosses me out so much. And I have a couple of friends, and they're probably watching this. You know who you are. And they like to peel skin, and it's like, ugh. And Thomas likes to do it too. I'm like, why do you guys like to do that? It's so nasty. I don't get it. I am, you know, ready for Sephora and Ulta to open. I'm just saying. Now, not of course to the detriment of people's health, but I'm ready to do some makeup shopping. And Thomas said that when everything opens back up, I am welcome to go on a shopping spree. Now, that doesn't mean I need to go spend like lots and lots of money, but I definitely want to see like what's new and stuff, or like what will be new. I'm pretty sure a lot of things have delayed launches, but I'm just ready. I'm gonna put ColourPop No Filter Concealer over that. I haven't used it in a while, and I kind of want to. This was one of my favorites for a really long time until I found the Flower Beauty, and then I was like, you're my favorite. No, you're my favorite. Combination of concealers is looking good. I guess we can talk about what like personality traits we look for in significant others, because obviously Thomas is my last planned significant other. I don't plan on getting divorced or anything like that, but I definitely look for personality, humor. I need somebody who can make me laugh, because like I like to think, like especially in real life, I'm pretty funny, and I need somebody to make me laugh, and he makes me laugh. He's like funny in a different kind of way than I'm funny. Like I am like the jokester, I'm the Chandler, and he's like the one who does funny things and says funny things but doesn't realize he's saying things that are making me laugh so hard. I really like this concealer combo. But he is just like, gosh, he's the funniest. And he doesn't even realize he's funny. And I find him really attractive. I know, how gross. Monica's getting mushy. When I saw him on our first date, I was like, oh my, you are yummy. He's got what I consider to be my ideal look. He is very handsome. He's not too tall. He's 5'10", or in between 5'9" and 5'10", I think. And I'm 5'2", so I don't really, like for me, a tall guy is not a necessity. Now, for some girls, it is a preference, and I totally get that. I've dated tall guys, but he's like the perfect height for me. I like the way he's built. Let's objectify him, why don't we? But yeah, and he has, I think his face is so handsome. He has, like, I love his side profile, and it's funny because he hates it because he thinks his nose is too big. But I do not. I think that he has such a handsome side profile. And if he watches this video, he's gonna blush so much. It's gonna be really funny. But yeah, I just think he is so good looking, and he's funny, and he is really supportive of me. And that is really important because I've had a series of like relationships, and I've like mentioned it in passing and more specifically before, but like I have had relationships where the guy wasn't super supportive, and like I've had other people in my life not be super supportive or anything like that. So the fact that he is like so, like he's like, of course I'm supportive. Like he's so like, yeah, duh. And I'm like, oh really? It's really, really nice. This looks really good actually. I think that foundation match isn't too bad. But yeah, he is the most supportive, and we have like the same beliefs on everything. And a lot of people, you know, like that's not really a thing. For me, I think it's important so we know like how we want to raise our kids, and it won't be like super hard to come to a conclusion of how we want to do that when that time comes. And it's kind of important to me. I think it's important to both of us, and we didn't like specifically say it was, but like once we like realized that the two of us had very similar beliefs and morals and stuff, we were like, oh yeah, this is probably kind of important. Another thing I look for is somebody who will be not only a good partner to me, but like a good dad. That's really important to me. A good parent. I want somebody who will love the child no matter what, and it won't be like, I'll love you as long as you're exactly like me, or you're exactly like how I want you to be, because you never know what kind of personality your kid's going to have or develop as time goes on, because personalities alter as you get older. For me, I used to be like painfully shy. Like I didn't even know how to say thank you to a compliment. Somebody said something, I'd be like, thanks. I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, thank you, which is more how I am now. Or if somebody's like, oh, you're so pretty, I'm like, so are you, because usually the person telling me that is pretty. Oh, this is hard talking while doing your brows. I knew Thomas was the one pretty much from like the first date. That's so cliche. I think he kind of knew too that I was, because our first date lasted like 6 hours, and we went to a restaurant and we didn't even order for the first like hour to hour and a half because we were so distracted we weren't even looking at the menu, and it actually made the waiter laugh at us because he was like, okay, I'll be back later. But yeah, like Thomas just was exactly what I've been looking for, and you know, it was nice to find that in a person, because to be honest, we all have our idea of the perfect guy or the perfect woman, and a lot of times you don't find that, and I don't think he's perfect, and he doesn't think I'm perfect, because we're not. He is as close to somebody who's perfect for me as I get, and so he's just really such a great guy and such a good match for me, and I'm glad I didn't stay with other people that I felt like I should have, because now I'm able to be with somebody that is more suited for me, and I hope the same can be said for them, at least, you know, sometime in the future. Oh my gosh, it's hard to do your eyebrows when you're talking. I know of at least one ex that I'm pretty sure has it out for me. I feel like he's kind of holding on to the past, and he's trying to get back at me, get revenge. I didn't do anything that really deserves revenge, but once again, that's just where maturity differs for guys and girls, especially, like, to be honest, guys, they just mature slower than girls do, so it makes sense that I would want to be with somebody older. A lot of women like to be with older men because men do mature slower, so Thomas and I are basically on the same maturity level, not because, like, he's immature or something, but I'm just more mature than guys my age. Is this making sense? So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure one of my exes like wants me to be miserable. He had it in his mind that I cheated on him. I did not. I never have cheated on anybody. I've never even thought about it. I've never even been tempted to cheat. Like, it's not like I saw somebody and I was like, yeah, if I cheated, it would be somebody like that. Completely different subject here. I've been thinking about doing music videos, like where I play the piano or sing. Would that be something that you guys would be interested in? I have not been professionally trained as a singer, so I'm not really comfortable giving tips on how to sing because I don't want to give false information. I have just like learned how to sing from YouTube videos and other people's voices. Like Carrie Underwood was a huge influence, but I don't like want to sit here and act like I know everything because I was not trained professionally. But I will be happy to give pointers on like piano. I also play the flute if you're interested in that. But piano is definitely my forte, and I was trained professionally. Like, I took lessons and everything. I've been playing piano since I was 5, and I'm 23 now, and I stopped taking lessons when I was 18. I would be happy to give some pointers on that if that is something you guys are interested in, but if it's not, like, I won't take offense to it. I really like doing vlogs. Those are so much fun to me, and it's because you can kind of see like how I am off of camera. Like, I mean, I'm on camera, but off of camera in the sense of like I'm not sitting like I am now in front of a big camera, and I don't have like more of a scripted type of video where I'm like, okay, so today I'm doing this. It's more like, all right, so I don't really know what I'm doing today, but do you want to come along with me? I'm going to be doing cooking videos soon and baking videos. I'm trying to get Thomas to do them with me. He's usually pretty like chill about it. He'll do it with me if I ask him. I'm pretty excited about that. Trying to cover up that sunburn. This is a great brush, by the way. I know I mentioned it like in passing, but it's the Ego Tools bronzer brush, and I get it on Amazon. I can link it below if you guys want. It's supposedly a dupe for a Sephora brush because Jessica Braun talked about it. I actually owned it before she talked about it. We're so in sync, you know? Just kidding. She has no idea who I am. I recently, for the first time, just watched Pretty Woman, and I'm obsessed with it. Like, I own it now because I'm obsessed with it. I just really like that movie. I love Julia Roberts. There's nothing I could say that I'm like, oh yeah, no, I hate it. I really like adding glow now. I used to hate it. I don't know why. brings your makeup to life and doesn't even look fake. By the way, I absolutely loved this combo. I'm gonna be doing that some more. That was the first time I tried that. I feel like this video has been so therapeutic for me. Like, I feel a little bit better than I did before this video. Maybe I just should have recorded last week, even though I was feeling crappy. Maybe that would have made me feel better. What are the guidelines for your state where you live? Because Alabama has raised the restrictions like almost entirely now. It's pretty much just up to the business of like who wants to open and who doesn't. But like, what is it like where you guys live? It's still weird. Like, Thomas and I still kind of feel weird going out because it's like, we want to go out, but we still are trying to be careful. You know, to keep our distance. But the pool did open at our apartment complex, and that has been good because it hasn't gotten like too crowded to where like people are too close to each other. But it's been nice to like see other people out and about, and it's nice to get to go to the pool, get some sun. I love the way my face looks. I'm getting distracted by it. And what did you guys do for Memorial Day? Thomas and I, for Memorial weekend, we went out to my parents' lake house. And then on Memorial Day itself, we drove back and we went to the pool and hung out. And it was really, really fun. And we ordered Jimmy John's. I love Jimmy John's. Are you a Subway, Firehouse, or Jimmy John's person? Because I'm an all person. I love them all for different reasons. But if you had to pick, I guess, what would it be? Why am I trying to talk while putting on lip liner? Alright guys, so I am done now. I really like the way this turned out. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I forgot to film it, but I did use the Milani Lustrous Lip Gloss in the shade Luster Light. It smells like Fruity Pebbles, by the way, and I'm living for it. I like a nude lip, just like any other girl, basically. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this chit chat, get ready with me, and found it entertaining. And if you did, give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and let me know if you liked it, so that way I can record more of these if you did. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.